Hello, I'm Christina from The Turned Leg, and I love to salvage, repurpose, and create and help others to do the same. And I know right now as booth owners, you are crazy busy, so I'm going to keep this short. I'm going to share with you 5 things that I have relearned, and some of them learned for the first time this year. The very first thing I want to talk about is, I think this year I learned that everything that has happened in the past, it always happens like this. Well, don't worry. When you get to this month, you hardly make any sales. But then you get to these months and you're going to have all of those things that have happened in the past, just toss them out the window. This was a year, at least for me, like no other. And a lot of things that have worked reliably year after year, this year just didn't seem to work. And many of the dealers that I talked to at my mall at Plaza Antiques echoed the same thing. Even though this year was not predictable like years past, I felt your analytics, still running your numbers, tracking your sales was still extremely important. And I think maybe going forward, it's going to be even more important for you. So just because you're having a little dip in sales or things are going extremely well, you can still reflect, maybe not on that month last year, but you can kind of overview and see still how you're doing in your business. Another thing I found about how things have changed this year is timing has changed. The slow months weren't slow and the busy months weren't busy. For me, I really saw more of like steady sales, which was good, but a little concerning at times too. I think one thing we have to be comfortable with as booth owners is timings have changed. One of the things I did this year is I set up Christmas crazy early in my booth, and many of you said you agreed, and many of you are doing the same thing, and I think it really helped my booth. But of course, as the holiday season went on, I think things were slowing down with sales because there had been holiday items available for a while in my booth. So I didn't get the rush, but I did have the consistent sales. So that was a little different. Overall, what worked before was not working this year. And it really forced us to be flexible. Okay, that's not working. What can I try now? Maybe going forward, things will balance out and be more predictable, but maybe not. And I think as a small business owner, you just got to be on the roller coaster and be ready for the ride and looking for ways that you can figure out what's going to work in your business. Now, I started off with like a scary topic. Everything has changed. Everything that was predictable is not. But there were a lot of things that have happened in the past that are still true, and I think even more so this year. Number 2 thing that I learned this year as a booth owner is pretty still pays off. You still need to switch your booth up. You still need to make things look pretty. And I think it was even more important this year. There was someone in my booth owners business group that said that they were looking for ways to kind of show people how to use their items. They were grouping things differently. They were telling a story with what they were doing. Like, hey, all of these items would be great all sold together. Maybe you should pick them all up, or your home. This would look pretty on a shelf if you group them all together. And I think this was important more so than ever before. I think customers, shoppers are tired, exhausted, stressed. They are looking for easy, and sometimes they don't have all the skills with finding the coolest, neatest ways to decorate. So if you're just putting things all in one big group, like all of your old bottles in one corner, all of your old books, they're not really sure how to use those. But if you're mixing things up a little bit, you're showing, hey, these things all look good. You can group things by color. You can use books as risers. You're giving your customers ideas. They're appreciating it. And I think you're going to sell more with those displays. Another thing that is still working, but even more so, in fact, it was the number 1 item that was selling in my booth this year, more so than ever, and that was smalls. Smalls were king. I remember when I first got my booth and I was told by another dealer who had had a booth for many years, and they said somebody always has like $5 in their pocket. And I think this year, maybe it was more like $10 in their pocket. I was really noticing a huge trend that people were purchasing a lot more of the inexpensive items. So maybe $15 and under, $10 and under. But I needed to have a lot of variety because once again, the smalls are never predictable. You're always like, wow, I'm shocked. I never would have thought that would have sold. So you need to have a variety of items at all different price points, but I'm always making sure now more than ever to stuff my booth with smalls because some months smalls were not only making the rent, but they were making the profit. And for me, that's new. Smalls would make the rent, but usually higher ticket items would be making profit and income. Some months that would happen. Other months, another thing I learned from this year as a booth owner is something that I've always known to be true. Your business doesn't work unless you work it. But this year, it was more true than ever before. I think there were so many highs and lows this year. A lot of times when we're discouraged, we want to give up. We don't want to try harder. And I think being a booth owner, that was something that you had to push against this year. You had to work just a little harder to get the sales and the traffic that you normally would get as a booth owner. You also had to try new things. I tried a whole bunch of new things this year, and some of them worked and some of them didn't. But just by trying them, I know that there were people that were coming into my booth to say, okay, what crazy thing is she doing now? I think it is so important to just keep trying and doing, and pretty much, isn't that the entrepreneurial spirit? I mean, isn't that, as a small business owner, what we kind of just love to do? I mean, sure, we want it all easy, but when it's not, we're the type of people that are filled with good ideas and like, well, what if I try this? I think listening to yourself and your intuition this year was more important than ever before. I also mentioned you had to work harder, and one of those things I think booth owners had to really embrace, maybe they have never done it before, was at least considering, how do I get the word out about my business? Just because you have a booth, I mean, maybe you're lucky enough that your antique mall advertises, does tons of social media, and is getting people into your booth just because they work so hard. But if that is not the case, maybe you are considering social media, even if you had never thought of it before. I believe it is so important for all booth owners to have social media accounts for their business. And if you need more information, I do have a video you can check out, social media for booth owners. It's free advertising. Get the word out, share it with friends and family, and get those customers and those locals into your booth to shop. The last thing I want to talk about that is so important is community. I think as small business owners, a lot of times we are just doing our own thing, and it is very lonely. One of the things I love about this page is hearing from all of you. You guys sharing what you know and your comments and supporting one another and supporting what I do. It means so much. This is a lonely business, and I don't think it should be. That is the key to continuing this business long term. You need to have the support and you need to have the community. And I don't know about you, but sometimes your family just totally doesn't understand the business. And the last thing they want to hear about is more about your booth display or what you are planning for the new year or your social media insights. The other good thing with having community is you have experts that you can surround yourself with. You know who is hustling, who is successful. Those are the people you want to hang out with so you can get more good ideas for your business too. I know not everyone is fortunate enough to have a great booth owner community that they can reach out to. If you are looking for more community, if you want to bounce ideas, if you want to vent, if you want to get inspired, learn new things, I do have a private Facebook booth owners business group. And for the month of December, the monthly fee is discounted. But starting in January, it is going to go up. So if you want to lock in now, there's more information in the description box below. And we would love to have you in the group. My wish for all of you is that you continue to have a wonderful, successful business. I'm sure you have a lot of great ideas for the new year. And I hope you're as excited as I am. This is the busiest time, and sometimes it feels like you're running a marathon just to get through December. I have one more booth display redo when I get rid of all of my holiday decor, and then I kind of can relax for just a little bit. And I'm sure many of you are in the same boat too. So I hope you continue to be excited and inspired and love what you do. And I promise you, it will definitely pay off with beautiful displays and increases in sales. Wishing you and your family a very happy holiday season, a Merry Christmas, and a Happy New Year. Thank you so much for watching and supporting me and my business, and I hope it has helped you and yours too. Now get out there to salvage, repurpose, and create. Hello! While I was editing this video, I came up with a good idea, and that is in a future video, probably not the next one, but the one after, over the holidays, I would like to do a Q&A video, but I need your help. Do you have any questions that you'd like answered? I'd be happy to talk about things about finding antiques, pricing, thrifting, booth owner, painting, DIY, even junk garden. If you have any questions, I really need your help. Put them down in the comments below, and then I will be answering all of your questions in an upcoming video. Thank you so much.